So now, you know, let's talk about what happened last week at Nasdaq before we go into details on the psychology part, right? So there was no much movement, like major movement, like big movement last week. It was just the continuation of the trend that was happening since last 2 weeks, right? So let's come to weekly time frame. Now, weekly time frame means this whole candlestick here represent just 1 week. So let's come down to 50 minutes time frame. And let's analyze how every setup on every day moved, right? On Monday, this was a Monday, right? This is the Monday trade here. And before this was a Monday trade, right?
Right.
And before we take an entry on Monday, we should see what Friday did, right? That was the last week's Friday, right? Price has already, well, price is bullish already, which we know, right? And what happened here? We saw price creating a weak volume because we had a sell that was coming from Thursday going into Friday. Same Friday, we had price. What price did here? Price was creating a kind of a weak volume. Sorry, I think people are getting into the call. So like I was saying, sorry. We saw our Friday moved, right? That was last week's Friday, right? So we had this whole sell on Thursday, right? And what happened here? We had this whole big push, right? Coming to fill this gap. So we saw our price rejected this level here. We had a support level that was price closed below the support level, right? Or let's say we have another support level here actually, if you check with 5 minutes time frame. But then consider this area here as a weak volume because what happened here with price? So what happened here with price? We saw our price came and met down a little bit, created a support level, pushed up, created a pullback. You know, if sellers were still in this market, what would happen? We will see price creating a lower low at this point, right? So we saw our price, close on that day. Look at how the candlestick information, the bullish candlestick information closed on Friday, which is on 17th of May, right? And why on Monday, when the Asia session was open, we saw our price continue buying a little bit, like from that level, we saw our price continue buying. Price did not break this previous New York support. We have a previous New York support here at this point. It might not look clearer on 15 minutes time frame, but on 5 minutes time frame, that area is clear. And knowing if price should get to this level, claim below this level, price will likely want to come sell more, clearing this, support level, right? So this is going to be our previous day New York support level. You have to have, first of all, for you to be able to analyze this thing, you need to understand with the direction of the market, especially looking on higher time frame, right? You need to see the direction of the market. Who is in control right now? Is it the buyers? Is it the sellers? I need to really know who is in control. You understand? For me to come down to lower time frame to analyze the trade, you understand, and put all the dots together because it's so important. If even one dot is missing, you might likely not get it clear, right? So, and you understand the Asian part of taking entry on Asian entry and also taking advantage of New York session spotting DMS. So I'll talk about this what happened on Monday on the 20th of May, right? So we saw our price we saw our price closing above, creating a little bit of higher high at this point, right? We had a pullback, price range for a little bit. We had a range at this point during the Asian session. We saw this a little bit sell going into London session, creating a support level. Don't forget, we have a Asian support at this point here. It doesn't look clear, but if you look at 5 minutes time frame, it's clearer, right? So we had price. What happened here? We had price buying back during the London session into what the New York session. But one thing you should see is that if you look at 5 minutes time frame, we have a DMS at this point, area that doesn't make sense. Because at this point, we have price creating a resistance level during the London session. We have New York session coming in, but we didn't see a breakout first of all. I'm not talking about this breakout right now. Looking at how what price saw first before we saw the main move. But initially, there was a Asian entry already. So if you have an Asian entry at this point, just because you know price is create a weak volume, all you want to know is where is the weak volume to spot the weak volume to be able to take your entry, right? So if the weak volume is like, oh, we see price creating a weak volume, sellers is creating a weak volume sell, buyers are trying to gain in strength for a reversal, I need to see a kind of a higher high and a higher low a little bit for me to have a concept of where the market direction is going to, right? So now at this point, now price did not clear that previous New York support, which was on Friday, previous New York support. Yeah, you understand? And we saw price selling down during the New York session, creating a support level, not clear how this Asian support level. And what happened here, we saw this push. I think there was the economic event that happened that made this whole push, right? That was Monday. So if you have a entry during the Asian session, having 30 to 25 pips stop loss, hitting 100 pips target, that's cool. Not all the time you will see a major move like that, because at the end of the day, price has been creating a very big trend. You understand? Look at your left hand here, price has been creating a very big trend. So you probably might not see that same move, right? But still, you can still take advantage of it with the proper risk management. So now on that day, let's say we have our entry on Asia session after this pullback, and right, we have a 100 pips target, right? That's 1 to 3.49, which is almost 1 to 4 weeks to a world ratio if you have your 25 pips stop loss, right? Let's say we have a 25 pips stop loss, and that's around below that previous New York support. Now, what happened here? We saw price coming to touch that level again, and we had a price making a big push. Realistic, you might do some mistakes sometimes, and it's cool to do mistakes. Don't be hard on yourself, right? Maybe taking the entry in the wrong time, or not taking the entry too early, or maybe price has already made the push and you're trying to force the entry. It's understandable. These are mistakes that traders go through. You don't want to be hard on yourself, right? So that those things is not going to create psychological barrier. And psychological barrier, what I mean is creating a kind of hunger, knowing that now what will happen there, you might probably close the trade. And at the end of the day, now the trade might probably be going your way. And what will happen, you might like, oh, you know what, let me just take an entry again at this point, since price is going my way. And realistic, you start having a bigger stop loss. So if, for instance, price now come back down, maybe to touch a key level, you would likely get stopped out again. And you might like, what's going on? You understand? And at the end of the day, price went your way. So you want to be able to understand those sessions correctly. And I've given two types of strategy I use on Nasdaq, like the Asian session strategy, and using also DMS to take advantage of New York session. And one thing I love about the DMS part is that is the section where the main move usually happen. So all you need to do is to look for the area that doesn't make sense, right? A resistance area that doesn't make sense, a support level that doesn't make sense. So that will give you any concept of, okay, you know what, this is where I need to position my trade at this point. I think price is likely going to buy. But then you need to connect the old dots together, right? Understanding those sessions properly, what the previous day did, to be able to analyze what this day is going to do. You understand? And at the end of the day, price went your way. So you want to be able to understand those sessions correctly. And I've given two types of strategy I use on Nasdaq, like the Asian session strategy, and using also DMS to take advantage of New York session. And one thing I love about the DMS part is that is the section where the main move usually happen. So all you need to do is to look for the area that doesn't make sense, right? A resistance area that doesn't make sense, support level that doesn't make sense. So all you need to connect the old dots together, right? Understanding those sessions properly, what the previous day is going to do. You understand? So looking at Monday, we had price continue buying, creating a higher high. We have this high that was broken above right here, right? Looking at marking up to the future, right? We have this high that was broken above, right? But still, price came back down the next day, which was on Tuesday, right? So price actually is not moving the way we want, but at least it's still giving something, right? So on Monday, same Monday, what happened here? This is a weak volume at this point. This is a weak volume at this point, right? So I'm going to write this on the text so you can understand what I mean by weak volume. Yeah, I think it's a weak volume at this point, right? What happened here is that price at this point did not create a new resistance level. It's just a simple concept. It's not that hard, right? So we saw price after breaking this level of resistance here, right? Price did not continue creating a new higher high, right? So we had a pullback, testing that level, right? A previous resistance that was broken above, which is now support. Price did not actually create a new higher high after that. We saw price creating this resistance level, price creating another resistance level that was below, and we saw a pullback right during the New York session. At the end of the section, price closed even before this Asian session start coming in, right? The New York session was closed. So what this New York session predicts to us is that, oh, during this Monday before New York session closed, price were actually creating a weak volume for buy. So it means buyers are losing strength at this point that Monday because price did not create a new higher high. So what will give you a concept of new day? Let's say Tuesday Asian session. It means that you need to actually mark up your previous resistance level. It doesn't have to be the overall at this point. The previous day, which is on Monday, right? So what is going to be our previous resistance level at this point? We're just going to look at this level here. Let's say this one is going to be a previous resistance level at this point, right? Now, we need to see price creating a kind of a pullback during the Asian session, right? And let's say after this resistance level, we saw our price coming up a little bit to create a pullback, closing below this one right here. And let's say we have an entry at that point, right? And let's say we have a short position here, and here was our entry. We have a 25 pip stop loss, right? We have a 25 pip stop loss, and we are targeting about 100 pips realistic maximum. What we like to target, what me personally like to target. For you, it might be probably 50 pips, it might probably 70 pips instant, but calculated risks, like what I like to target most of the time on a daily basis, day trading, is 100 pips max. And sometimes I catch more than that, like I go crazy on 200, even sometimes 400 daily, depending on the market condition, right? So now we saw our price coming back up, during the London section to reject that level again, closing below. You understand? So what happened here? We saw our price drop, but actually did not give the 100 pips move. So at this point, let's say we have about 773 pips at this point, and which is enough. It's good as a day trader. Actually, if you catch the 73 pips, when price gets to that level, you should be able to know that, oh, at this point, maybe I want to put my stop loss in profit and secure 50 pips right now. If price come back to my stop loss, I don't really care because I already secure 50% of what I have in profit already. So let the rest run. Now, what happened here when price sell from Asian London to when the New York session dropped? So what happened here? One thing you want to pay attention to is that, don't forget, New York session is the session where the main move do happen. And don't forget, on Monday is important because you need to see the direction of the market, where the direction is to go. So just because we caught this whole sell and it gives us 70 pips doesn't mean we're going to play small and just ignore this buy, right? On higher time frame, the buy setup is intact. It is bullish. The trend, it's way easy to trade the trend. So now that we know the price is trending during the higher time frame, price is like actually going to get to needs to clear some area for we to be able to predict the main move, right? So now, why price is quitting to clear those levels? Let's say this old gap, this imbalance area, price came back to sell. Price is also giving you a interpretation of the DMS, like I said before, right? Like let's say now you miss this wholesale. That doesn't mean you can miss the buy. Now what happened here? Price has created another opportunity for you to take advantage of the buy. Now price, we have a DMS level. So I will explain this DMS level for you again, guys. It means area that doesn't make sense, because usually if a resistance level or a support level want to start the main move, if a full reversal want to start this main move, right, it usually start during the New York session, not the London or the Asian section. So once you see this section creating this resistance level or a support level, it means price will likely, even if price will continue buying, price will likely come to this level, or even if price will likely continue staying, it's going to come to this level and clear this level. So let's say now price is buying at this point, right? Let's say price is bullish on higher time frame, but just because it's bullish doesn't mean there will not be some kind of a pullback. So why price is creating those pullback is creating a DMS area for you to also take advantage of the buy setup that is going to come during the New York session, so you can take advantage of the long run. So now price has created the DMS area. What happened? We saw our price coming back up again to clear out that level, right? So we saw our price coming back to clear out that level, touching this level, you understand, closing above this resistance level. We had a pullback, and finally we had a higher high, right? So what happened again? This is a concept that, okay, we still see market is still bullish at this point, right? So now we had a resistance level again. Price created a new resistance level, and this is kind of unusual, right? Again, because now what happened here? We saw this whole sell, right? Honestly, this Wednesday setup is not really like the kind of setup I like, because even if I would love to take this kind of trade on this place, I will probably leave this Asian trade and focus on the bigger picture, taking the New York trade, because at this point I'll be waiting for price to break this DMS area. But one thing I noticed is that on Wednesday trade was that price actually break above that DMS area, right? And we saw those sell. So, and I saw something that was so amazed that I saw Dicey taking this entry on Wednesday, and I was like, wow, that was quite amazing, because it also shows that you know what you were looking for. And I saw that before actually you took the sell, you were stopped out the first time, and the second time you took an entry again, and which is like you're doing a great job, right? And I saw that trade. And if I was the one to, I would actually go for sell. Even apart from going for this buy, I would actually go for the sell first, because at this point, one thing price did here was this DMS area was already cleared. And what happened here? Price started creating a weak volume during the New York section. There was no higher high again. Price came back up, did not break above this resistance level here. And at this point, price, this is going to be a good move to take the sell, right? So now the amount of pips you're looking for is a personal decision making. So if, let's say, you take an entry at this point here and you're looking for 100 pips, yeah, you already got the pips already, like you're good for the day. And yeah, that was it. And I want to be sure if I'm corrected. Dicey, Victor, was it true? Like, was that what you were looking for? That's why you took the entry on that day, on Wednesday?
Yeah, on Wednesday, like, I was actually thinking price is going to buy, like, during the Asian session. Then I saw the market actually was so slow, was kind of like ranging during the Asian session, and during the London session, price started creating higher high and higher low, but didn't continue the New York session, then I knew that I was like, okay, it seems like this is a weak volume for buyers. So immediately I saw that weak volume, and price created a lower low first and second. So that was when I took my entry.
Okay. That's good. That's amazing. Continue the good job, like, yeah. So yeah, that's good, because going back to what just previous videos too, we actually help you to like redigest the concept too of those section, especially trading on Nasdaq. This is actually based on Nasdaq, actually, no other instrument. When we can actually analyze another instrument, so you can see the other concept of it too, because this market moves differently. Some of the time you need to understand that you short. That's why you see most traders, like they focus on some like two or one instrument, because like, yeah, market move differently, and you can't compare GDP JPY with USD JPY. Like, it's two different things. And you can't compare it with Nasdaq. It's two different market. You understand? So even if you have a strategy, you will need to understand those levels that needs to get clear out. Those levels that needs to get clear out at the section, to understand where the main move usually make, where is like, to see what time the main move always happen is so important, right? So let's continue. On Thursday, even before on Thursday, same Wednesday, we had price started creating a weak volume, right? We saw price creating a bunch of rejection at this point. Yeah, creating weak, rejecting this price here, right? Creating a what? A higher low at this point. Before we saw price creating a higher high during the Asian session, we have a kind of a gap, right? On Thursday, right? Asian session, this is a good kind of setup at this point, but then you might mix that, right? So I missed this whole buy during the Asian session, during the London session continuation. But the thing I did not miss was and that's why I was waiting for a price to get cleared, which was 90,000 on Nasdaq, right? And price got to that level, and that was a key level, right? And we have that area is a key level, right? And price is kind of creating a weak volume at that time for sellers. And the second dot I was connecting, which is the second confirmation, was looking for a DMS area. I think price is likely gonna get cleared, and I was able to spot this level here. We have a DMS one, like the London support level. We have the Asian support level, and I knew even if buyers were still going to be in, this level needs to get cleared at first for buyers to come back and start buying back, right, to continue the bullish trend. But at that time, once I saw that, I was like, you know what, I'm just going to go for the sell first and put my target on the Asian DMS, which is the Asian support level, right? So now, and it actually plays that it was an easy trade on Thursday, right? And we saw price playing out so well. And another reason why I took the sell was, again, because the resistance level was starting during the New York session. Because at this point, this resistance level has already cleared out this whole patience resistance. There was no resistance during the London. We have a resistance, but it's cleared out already. And we saw all this whole sell started dropping during the New York session. That's giving me confidence. You know what? I will just target this DMS level at this point. And I had the entry, and the trade plays out. And I think other people in the group too took advantage of that too, right? And that was an amazing day on that day, right? We had a pullback to retest this level that was broken below, and we saw continuation of that sale on Thursday. On Friday, this one is another one that plays out too. I took a position here on this Friday trade, even if sometimes I don't like to trade on Friday, but I just took advantage of that, right? and I had my target around this corner. But here's the thing I would explain about this Friday trade, because I actually had to explain this with some of my one-on-one students, right?
I'll stop out on Friday.
You said what?
I said I was stop out on Friday, then I took a second entry.
Oh, you were stop out on Friday, you took a second entry. I think someone else
Yeah.
too was stop out too. Yeah, I think someone too will stop out too. The new student will stop out too. And I talked about the stop loss level, and he had a error with the stop loss level, and which is cool. These are like, experience. It's not something you should go out on too much. So now on Friday trade, one thing I saw here was that price created a lower low at this point now, right? We had the support level that was cleared out. So let's say we have this support level getting cleared out, right? So what happened here? Price created a lower low. Before the close of that Thursday, we had price creating a weak volume already. If you look at 5 minutes time frame, 5 minutes time frame already created a support level, right? Let's wait and see. So on Friday already created a support level, right? Which is the New York previous day support level, which is on Thursday support level. And you need to pay attention to those small details. It actually really matters, right? Because you can see how the Asian session opens 12 a.m. Dubai time. We saw the pullback didn't close below that previous New York support. That's when you know that all these things actually really count too. You can see our price sell back down to the London session, coming back to reject that level. But looking at the candlestick information closing above, it does matter. And this is another template in it. I talk about the Asian entry too, right? And also taking advantage of the New York DMS. So these are two count. So if you miss one, you can still take advantage of the other one. So if you miss Asian, let's say you're targeting 100 pips, you don't have to miss New York, because sometimes it might give you even more than 100 pips. So now on Friday, I did not see anything on 15 minutes time frame, because I was looking for the 15 previous New York support, because price was creating a weak volume. Sellers were creating a weak volume for buyers to come in already, right? And I came down to 5 minutes time frame, just marked that little bit previous support level I saw here, the previous Thursday support level, right? And after that, marked up, I actually waited to see how price is going to react on Asian session, right? So what happened there? We saw price rejecting that level. I waited a little bit for the breakout, and I took a entry, right? And I had a 25 stop loss, which was good at that point. I think my entry was around here, and I had my target to this level here. It was more than 100 pips a little bit, and I have a 25 stop loss, right? So now what happened here? Price actually cleared. And why I took the entry was because I saw the weak volume, and Asian session already was creating a kind of a rejection, candlestick information closing above the previous support level, looking on 5 minutes time frame actually, right? So that gave me confirmation, and I actually had a low risk, honestly, because I feel like it's weak. It's Friday already. I don't want to risk too much on that. You understand? I need to play safe with my capital. So I did that, and price did its thing. And that same day, actually, I was on Zoom too, and I talked about the DMS level. I was hoping price is likely going to come clear glass, get cleared out, right? And one thing that came to my notice is that price actually have a DMS area at this point, right? You have this DMS support level, right? You have this another one here. Let's see, this one is the most important one, which is the London support level. Understand? So meaning price is likely gonna come clear this support level, right? So, and what happened here is that we have this previous New York resistance level, and looking at how price closed on Friday, we saw price coming back up to test this level, but did not close above, right? You can see price did not close above. We saw the pullback again, rejecting that level. Looking at this resistance level again, price did not actually close. So what will we consider this area as? This is going to be kind of a big volume for us, because now buyers are creating a big volume to continue the buys at this point. But then we still need to wait to see how the new week opens. So I feel like on Monday, there's holiday on Monday. I think it's Labor Day. I don't, yeah, if I'm correct, right? There's a holiday on Monday, so market's gonna be slow. But still, let's see how the market open. Let's see how the market open. Let's say fully on Tuesday, sorry, to see what the market is going to do. But looking at 4-hour time frame, does this look like what is gonna sell? Yeah, I think it does, because that candlestick information closed below, right? Rejecting this resistance level here. Price coming back to reject this level. The breakout, after the breakout, we had the breakout here. Price coming back to reject that level, right? You might likely see a drop and price clearing out that DMS area. So you can play safe by taking a trade to clear out this one. Well, one thing I think price is going to do is that we might likely see Asian session dropping a little bit. So something like this, dropping a little bit to the downside, coming back up to retest this level here before coming back down again. So we're gonna see a little bit of drop. Price is likely gonna come back up to test this level again before we see dropping back down. And you know, it's not certain, market is not certain, and hopefully it goes our way. But let's see how the new week opens. So we have 1 minute 50 seconds for this call to hand. I'm actually going to send a link again so that you guys can hop in on this call, because I still want to touch on psychology a little bit, so that we can just have a grasp on like psychology barriers and stuff. And also we can also look into how this week is going to go. Start looking on higher time frame and looking on how like the swing is gonna go, right? So, but before this 1 minute end, like, is there any question anybody want to ask? Oh, you clear with that? Okay. Paul, I think Jeezy, you can unmute yourself if you have a question, or you guys understood the concept. Huh? Okay. Okay. That's good. So this call is gonna end in some seconds right now. This is actually Zoom call. I forgot to use the Google Meet, so we have to. I'll send the link again for us to open the call. Actually, I need to even end this call. Yeah. So this other call is not gonna take time. Let's say like 20 minutes. We should be done with this. So and talking about the psychology part again that I wanted to touch on, because I want us to understand that this is actually a journey, and there are some kind of patterns and things, mistakes, errors you're gonna find through your journey. And what you need to do is how you can embrace those mistakes and use them as a mentor instead of them to torment you. You understand? So you don't want to be hard on yourself too much. You're gonna have, a couple of mistakes, taking loss. But one thing I feel like that would help us as a trader, the first thing I think is gonna help us most is turning up the volume of crowd. Yeah, this has a major impact in the industry right now, and I see how the new traders are misled to the wrong things, right? Turning off those crowd volume is so important that if you don't do that, you might get stuck in the noise, and you might see yourself recycling patterns and doing errors upon errors, and just not knowing that all you actually requires is for you to have a max focus. You understand? Maxed focus. So those noise barriers is going to create a kind of wrong psychology impact to you in your trading journey. All you got to know is it's you versus you in this journey, right? So the help I need to do is to guide you in the process as a mentor. It's not something major. It's just a mentor to guide you. And the work of a mentor is to give you a guidance of a proven strategy. And let's say I give you a guidance, which is my work. And the thing is that I will not give you a decision making. So you understand? There will never be a kind of a decision making, because that is where your uniqueness comes in, right? So you need to have the concept of that, managing your risks, knowing your routine, when to wake up, knowing the Asian session, the patterns you want to go for. Or let's say today I'm not in the fan of, I want to trade a near session because price might probably be aggressive. I will just go a little bit, on Asian session because I probably might see just 100 pips and I'm done for the day. I don't want to go too much big because emotionally I can't withstand that price aggressive during the near session. And what happened there is that you already have a routine for that timing, so you don't have to bother yourself. All you got to do is to set the alarm and wake up at that time and look for the setup and execute, right? So psychology barriers are, anger, greed. And what is greed? Greed can be so really big. It can be so really rewarding. If you know how to use it properly, it can be so rewarding if you know how to use it properly. And it can create a really bad dramatic on your emotion if you don't know how to control it. Yeah, like they say, we need leverage to really make money in the market, but then greed is not going to help you that well, because then what happened is that greed is going to blind your eye to not stick to the strategy. You understand? So you got to understand that greed can be useful and can be destructive too. You understand? So excitement, another thing is there's a really big impact in excitement too, whereby what I mean about the excitement is that because I experienced one time I had a very big day. On this day I had a very big profit, right? So what happened is that I had this a very excitement day that, okay, you know what, let's say the next trade, I was hoping that, you know what, I would just capitalize properly on that trade. So what happened is, because I have excitement over excitement, I did not capitalize properly. I end up like using the wrong leverage. You understand what I mean by using the long leverage? I realized immediately actually that day, and I was like, you know what, this is emotions and I need to stop this. So excitement is another kind of emotion that will get in your head when you start seeing new numbers. And when you start seeing new numbers, you might get comfortable. So you need to be really careful with this stage when you start going, now the strategy does work, but how to control yourself, applying those disciplines is so important. So you need to be a student every blessed day and reversing, having a concrete plan of what you want to get from the market, and also attaching your realistic plan to a particular trade you want to have. Let's say you have a goal to buy a certain things, you can attach it to a particular trade. Even if the trade doesn't give you that amount of money, at least it's going to give you think the risk to reward is going to give you half of it or quarter of it. is also cool. You've already attached it to that. So psychologically, you know that I need to get this done right. Now, it's not calculative. So those psychological things are so important that you need to get together, understand during your journey after you have a proven strategy. So strategy alone doesn't qualify you of being profitable. Attitude, the person you are, our discipline you have qualify you to, be profitable continuously, understand? So that's how it is. And I feel like we need to put all these dots together so that we can move forward. It's so important, right? It's so important for us that we need to put those dots together so that we can move forward. So, but other than that, is there anybody with question? Anybody want to ask any question? Or you think you went through some experience psychologically you want to share with us? You can actually share it, and if not, we can just continue with the call, and I can add something else to it, or by analyzing other instrument, and we just call it a weekend. Anybody else with any psychology experience that they want to share, or they feel like I don't really know how to overcome this psychology part that I do repeat itself all the time, yeah, you can actually share.
So my take is going to be like this Friday. So I was looking at price to come clear this London DMS. So I took the first sell. This London DMS above when the price the actually candlestick creating a lower low. So I took the sell, hoping that price is definitely going to clear the DMS before shooting back up. So I was actually stopped out then. So my take is that like most times I just I don't know if I'm trading against the trend, and I think I just have to look at the charts more and be able to identify where the market is going.
Oh, wow. One thing I love about this is that you actually are like on point with what you're saying. So every dot needs to connect. Every dot needs to connect. So what I mean by every dot, we talk about accumulation phase, we talk about distribution phase. And most of the time, we start using the 20% part of our strategy to execute trade instead of connecting the O dot to make sense of that trade. Coming from the higher time frame, let's see what let's see what it does look like. Right? Do selling make sense or do buying make sense? So now that is so important. So just because we are looking for DMS, yeah, this thing you said is a very good question, right? It's a very good thing to touch on. So just because we're looking for DMS, so we have a DMS support level. It's cool. Price created a resistance level. We have a price creating a resistance level here. What happened here? We saw price creating a what? A new resistance level. But one thing you notice here, price did not actually create a lower low at this point. We didn't see price creating it. This candlestick information did not close. None of this candlestick information closed below here. So we didn't see price closing below the DMS level, right? So this candlestick did not close below this level, right? So now at this point, I want to see how price is actually creating those volumes. So for me, yesterday has to make sense. Thursday has to make sense for me to understand what Friday is going to do. So I already knew that you know what? Thursday has already been creating a weak volume. So we might likely see this template, meaning, I told you the two strategy, the DMS one and the Asian entry, right? So we might likely see this template. That's why you saw I marked the previous New York support. So what will happen is that price will likely want to what? Buy and come touch a key level. So a zone. That's what I mean by the key level, right? So we have this resistance level. Hopefully price is going to come touch, right? We have another resistance level upward there. Price is likely going to come touch. But for me, I prefer this one because it's more safer and it's more realistic that price is likely going to come touch there. Even if price is going to create a resistance level around this level, because this level here is a what? An imbalance area, right? And what else? Why did I take the buy again? Was because I know price is going to actually sell later, but then I want some areas to get cleared first, right? So if you do a mistake here, it's good for you to make a mistake. There's nothing wrong, because you were actually right with the strategy that, oh, price has already created a DMS level, and hopefully price is going to come clear that level. I was waiting for the same thing too, but then I was waiting for the move to finish first of all, right? So I was on the Zoom on this day where I talked about price probably going to drop a little bit here, right? From here, it's going to drop and clear this level at this point, because the way price is creating this resistance level is creating a weak volume already for buyers. So, but we need to see how this Monday opens, this new week opens. But note that on Monday we have a holiday, so market is not going to open, right? So market is going to be slow. But let's see how it opens. But now, since you get stop out, it's cool. If you get stop out, it's cool, right? Now all you got to do is the reflection of what actually really happens. You understand? What did you do wrong? So that's why there's always going to be a mistake. There's always going to be a kind of a mistake. So that's why our risk management is so important for us to apply to, like using the risk management, applying the risk management, right? So that when we get stop out, we don't over risk and we get stop out that is going to cause us some kind of anger in the market, and then we want to go for a revenge trade. It sounds crazy. You continue losing, because at that time you're not trading anymore. What you're doing now is trying to revenge what you actually lost, right? And it's going to create a kind of psychology barrier on you. So I love the question you asked, and my answer to it is that when analyzing the trade, anytime particularly, you need to connect the whole dot, meaning you need to connect at least 1, 2, 3, 4 confirmation. So let's say, for instance, you need to see at that point if we already have, let's say our RSI is giving us a what overbought at this point. But realistic, if you check at that point, I was in the chart at this point during the New York session when market was open. There was no overbought. Am I right?
I think there was news here.
There was news. Yeah, there was no overbought. Price is not overbought. So let's say that one was the first confirmation. Second confirmation, price is kind of still bullish at that point, right? And again, previous day support level that was still intact if you check on 5 minutes time frame. So those dots needs to come together. And on this kind of trade, I would not really want to go too much on it, because first of all, the day is Friday, so it's not really, I don't really go out on that day, right? Because those days are days the market is trying to manipulate, so you got to be careful. But then if you see your setup, take advantage of it. Doesn't matter what day it is, right? So, but the thing is that personally, I don't just like to trade that day, right? And sometimes I do trade if I see a great setup. I won't lie to you guys. So that's just like this. So, that day is part of it. But then that was a great setup, because looking at Asian session on Friday, it was a very good setup to the New York session move. You understand? So, and again, price is also creating a what at this point. Looking at 4-hour time frame, price is it's still bullish to me, but then at this point it's creating a weak volume because we had a breakout already from the previous support level, right? This level here, we have price creating a breakout already at this point, right? Let me turn off the skew zone. Price is creating a breakout already at this point. We have this support level that was broken below. We have another support level that was broken below. So we have this support level that was broken below. Price came back to reject this level, right? You can see this resistance level closing below, right? We have this candlestick formation. This is also a resistance level I marked up here, but you can see this one close below. So we might likely see a drop this new week, hopefully. But what I think is that we still need to see how Monday react. If price is going to continue selling on Monday, and let's see how it goes. But with that being said, price is creating a weak volume for sellers to come in. That's my perspective. So is there anybody else like want to add to the psychology barriers they think they have go through like during their process in trading, and that caused them to actually lose focus in the strategy and start focusing on the count? Yeah, you know how crazy it is that sometimes you get to a stage, it's a stage thing, which you have to realize that you don't have to get out of yourself, right? There's some kind of a mistake you're going to make, especially when you do a wrong risk management, or you did not use a proper leverage on a particular trade, right? What will happen there is that you will get blind. You will get blind in a kind of way that you will not focus on the setup anymore. You start focusing on when the candlestick is going to close, if the candlestick is going to come back your way or not. Those are amateur thinking. Please, I want you guys to, if you are doing that, just get off it. It's better for us to just wait for the proper setup and execute it than trying to play with it, understand? Because this candlestick takes 15-30 minutes for them to form. So you got to realize that what actually the market structure is, what is happening. Are we seeing accumulation phase or distribution phase? Yeah, you got to really put all these dots together to know, okay, you know what, I've been able to get these dots together, and this is my confirmation. Still, it's not certain, it's just probability if it's gonna go your way. So you want to apply risk management to it, then let it go and let's see what the market offer you, right? So that's just it. If it doesn't go your way, you learn from it and you know the mistake you did. And if it goes your way, yeah, also you still learn from it and know how to restructure again and replan again for the next day trade. Understand? So that's my take. So the first one again on the psychology is knowing how to control your anger, knowing that your greed can be also rewarding and also damaging. Know how to use it properly. Knowing how to use it properly actually do take time, right? Understand? It's not like to make money in this market, sometimes if there's a kind of good setup, when you get to some certain stage, you would want to leverage on it properly. Yeah, if only you accept the risk. When you accept the risk, there's nothing wrong in leverage. You understand? So your greed can be rewarding and can be also destructive. So risk properly. Risk what you think you can afford to lose, right? And what else again? Overexcitement. Overexcitement can cost you a lot of blindness, whereby you're so overexcitement of attaining new numbers. Let's say you have a big day. I talked about it before, and what happened there is that numbers might got you blind because you're so overexcited and you don't know that, okay, I still need to relax and see it's just a number thing. It's not something that is real at that moment until you withdraw it to your bank account. So you need to understand that too. You understand that overexcitement can cause you being blind in the market. So what you start doing next is that you start looking like, oh, you know what? Since I can make this, attain these new numbers, man, I think my strategy is the best or stuff like that. You start losing focus on the market structure and start doing the whole thing wrong, and you might end up blowing the money back if you're not applying the right dot. So those are the psychology barriers I think might come up during your journey. But hearing this from me, knowing that this can be real, and if you go through the ebook, reading the trade and risk psychology, these things are past patterns that has happened to a bunch of traders, right? Don't be hard on yourself, right? It takes time. It's a stage thing, and one thing you need to know is to know yourself, know how to control yourself, having those resilient mindset. Even if you attain new numbers, having those resilient mindset and stepping away from the chart like it's just a day. And one thing else again you can do is attaining those new numbers. You can actually step away from the market for some days, like to renew your mind, to accept the new state, so that if you're going back in, you need to be able to look at the setup and execute it properly. So understanding the psychology does take time, and knowing your routine, the time you want to take, the trades, the setup you want to take. Am I looking to take entry during the New York session, to look for a DMS area, to look as a target? Or am I waking up early during the Asian session to take entry from the Asian session and look here I need to put my stop losses? So all those things, it's timing. Understanding that it comes with timing. So you got to be ready. You got to be available once you perceive those opportunity. So if you're not available at those timing and you're coming after like 2 hours or 3 hours, open price is going to be waiting for you, or you think another person price is going to come back down, and no, it doesn't work that way. You have to be available, right, and to execute those trade. So this is my take on this week breakdown, and I feel like let's see what Monday has for us. Monday is going to be slow because we have holiday, right? From Tuesday we should see a clear view of what the market direction is going to make. But at this point, let's wait and see what the market direction is going to make. But I feel like market is going to drop a little bit, right? Because I feel like at this point, price is already creating a weak volume. Looking at 15 minutes time frame, actually for me, creating a weak volume, right? So yeah, that's my take. Is there anybody with question? Anybody with any extra question, we can up on it. And apart from that, if there's no question, this is gonna be this for the week, right? Okay, so I think I'm gonna end this call here, right here, and see you guys next week. I hope this new week profitable for everybody. Okay guys, yeah, peace out.
Thanks so much. Peace out.
Yeah, peace out.